All right, good day, everybody. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's head right on to the learning. For today's session, you should be able to, after the discussion, you should be able to differentiate present perfect tense and simple past tense, enumerate the ways in which present perfect tense can be used, form affirmative sentences, negative sentences, and present perfect questions, and also use up to now in present perfect sentences. Now, to begin, what is present perfect tense? Present perfect tense links the past to the present. To better understand this, let's look at these examples. I lost my book is in simple past tense. I have lost my book is in present perfect tense. And I lost my book, the action lost, the effects of the action lost stops in the past. For example, maybe I lost my book on Monday and then I found it on Tuesday, which means the action lost is not true anymore today. But in the sentence, I have lost my book, the effects of have lost remains relevant up to the present. For example, maybe I lost my book sometime in the past, and then up to the present, I still haven't found that book yet. It's also safe to say that present perfect tense gives you the opportunity to guess what's next on that sentence. To show that, let's have the same examples as well. I lost my book. I lost my book. It's like there's this sudden pause or stop. But in I have lost my book, it's like you can guess what happened next or what's the result of losing the book. I have lost my book and now I won't be able to lend it to you. I have lost my book and that's why I wasn't able to study for exams today. Uh, any questions so far? Is it clear, guys? Questions, clarification so far?
No question, sir.
All right, thank you
None,
for
sir.
responding. Let's have more examples. Rosa cooked dinner is in simple past tense. Rosa has cooked dinner is in present perfect tense. Rosa has cooked dinner. Rosa has cooked dinner. There's that pause I was talking about. Rosa has cooked dinner, and then what? It's like you won't be able to guess what happened next after Rosa cooked the dinner. But in Rosa has cooked dinner, it's like there's this opportunity to add to the sentence. Rosa has cooked dinner, and maybe now she can eat. Rosa has cooked dinner, and now she can rest. All right, moving on. I want you to understand that the present perfect sentences follows the basic structure. In the sentence, Rosa is the noun, followed by the auxiliary verb has, and then followed by the past participle. There you have the basic structure. Let's look. Do you have any questions? If none, let's look at my examples. Lisa has planted the rose. Now I want you to dissect or label the sentence. I want you to tell me what is the noun or the pronoun, the auxiliary verb used, and the past participle. Let's have Amy.
Yes, sir.
What is the noun in the sentence Lisa has planted the rose?
Sir, in the first sentence, Lisa is the noun, has is the auxiliary verb, and planted is the past participle.
All right, very good. Well done. How about in the second sentence, Mary Rose?
In the second sentence po, I is the pronoun, have is the auxiliary verb, and lost is the past participle.
All right, very good. Seems that you really understand the structure. There, Lisa is the noun, has is the auxiliary verb, and planted is the past participle. In the second sentence, I is the pronoun, have is the auxiliary verb, and lost is the past participle. Now, when do we use the present perfect tense? There are five conditions in which we use the present perfect tense. The first one is called past true. In past true, we use present perfect tense to refer to things, actions, events, or effects that we did in the past and is still true or relevant today. For example, I have seen that movie. The action have seen is still true today. Why? Because the pronoun I remains the person who watched the movie even over the years. That doesn't change. That fact doesn't change. Again, the pronoun I remains the person who watched that movie even over many years. Now, the next example, we have moved to California. Maybe we have moved to California sometime in the past, and even today, we still live in California, which means that the action have moved is still true today. Past true. Now, number two is called past finished. We can also use the present perfect tense to refer to actions or events that we did in the past. We started it in the past and then we also accomplished it in the past. And there's this relevant effect in the present. For example, I have finished my homework. Have finished, the action have finished is the past participle. So I have finished my homework, which means that today or now, I don't have to do it anymore because it's already done. The next sentence is Janela has baked the cake. The action has baked. The effects of the action has baked is that Janela doesn't need to spend any more time baking because the cake is already baked. Questions so far about the first two conditions.
None,
None.
sir.
Okay,
Answer.
good. Very good. Okay, the third is called past unfinished. But before we define what past unfinished is, I want you to note that in present perfect tense, the word for is always accompanied by a period of time, and it answers the question how long or for how long. And the word since is always accompanied by point in time, and it answers the question when did it start? Okay, moving on. We can also use present perfect tense to refer to an action or event that began or that we started in the past and is still going on today or in the present. Let's have these. For example, Mary has worked here for 3 months. There's that for. I want you to note that for. Now let me ask you, how long has Mary worked here? Let's have Mark.
3 months, sir.
Okay, very good. Do you see that? The word for answers the question, how long has Mary worked here? For 3 months. Mary has worked here for 3 months. It implies that Mary started working here 3 months ago and she's still working here today. Now, Mary has worked here since January. There's that since. Now, let me ask you, when did Mary start working here? How about you, Amy?
In January, sir.
Okay, precisely. Very good. Mary has worked here since January. Means that Mary started working here in January and is still working here now. Any questions? If none, let's move to the fourth one. Okay, a lot of people seem to think that present perfect tense can only be used to refer to distant past actions. However, that is not the case. Present perfect tense can also be used to refer or to pertain to things that just happened, and that is called recent past result. I have here these examples. I have just arrived at school. Notice, I want you to note that the word just emphasizes the recentness of the action arrived. I have just arrived at school implies that maybe I have just arrived at school a couple minutes ago or not too long ago, and that I won't be going home anytime soon because again, I have just arrived at school. Next is I have just eaten lunch. If, for example, somebody asked you to have lunch with that person and you said, I've just eaten lunch, that person would understand that it's a no, that your answer is no to the invitation because you have just eaten lunch and you won't be eating anytime soon again. Okay, moving on to the last condition. This is the fifth and the last condition, and it's called past past repetitive. Past repetitive implies that we can use present perfect tense to refer to things, actions, or event that we keep doing over many years up to today or up to the present. For example, Mary and Mike have shopped there for many years. Mary and Mike have shopped there for many years doesn't imply that Mary and Mike kept shopping there continuously throughout the years up to today. No, it doesn't imply that. What it implies is that Mary and Mike shop there maybe a few times every week over many years up to today. Do you understand that? Is it clear? Do you have any clarifications or questions?
None, sir.
All right, very good. Now let's practice. I have here sentences, 5 sentences if I'm not mistaken. And what I want you to do is identify whether the sentence is in present perfect tense or is in simple past tense. If it's a simple past tense, I want you to turn it into a present perfect tense and then I'll give maybe a little explanation. If in the case that it's already in the present perfect tense, I want you to explain or discuss how is it a present perfect sentence? Okay, number one, please read the sentence first and then your answer. Let's have Amy.
Yes, sir. Number 1. Jamie has played the violin for 7 months.
Your answer.
I think, sir, it's in the present perfect tense.
All right, very good. Now, number
Because,
two. Oh, okay. You can proceed. No
sir,
problem. I'm
because
sorry.
Jamie started playing the violin 7 months ago and maybe he's still playing it now.
All right, very good. That's exactly the reason. Now, number two. I'm sorry. Number two. He finished the plan. Um, let's have Mark. Please read the sentence again and then your answer.
Number two, he finished the plan. Sir, I think it's a past simple.
All
In
right.
present perfect tense, it will be uh, he has finished the plan.
All right. Correct. Okay, number three. Let's have Maddie. Mary Rose.
Sir, number three, Krista and Josh have painted the portrait. I think po is in present perfect tense, sir,
All
because
right, very good.
Krista and
Okay, proceed.
Krista and Josh have painted the portrait, and maybe now they have a gift to give their friend.
All right, very good. Now let's move on to the last two. On number four, let's have Mark again.
Number four, I have never been to Japan. It's in the present perfect tense. He haven't been to Japan, and so he doesn't know what it is like there.
All right, very good. Now for last, let's have Aimee.
Number 5. Teresa folded the clothes. Sir, it should be Teresa has folded the clothes, and maybe now she can put them inside the wardrobe.
Okay, excellent job, everybody. Now let's move on to negative present perfect. So far, the examples we've encountered are in a positive form, positive sentence or affirmative sentence. However, present perfect tense can also be used in negative sentences. And in present perfect tense, we can form negative sentences by adding a negation or the negation not and the auxiliary verb. For example, the auxiliary verb have plus the negation not is equals to have not. Have not can be contracted to haven't. They share the same meaning. Um, Another is the auxiliary verb has plus the negation not is equals to has not, and has not can be contracted to hasn't. Now, for example, I haven't finished my essay is a negative present perfect sentence. I haven't finished my essay, and therefore I still have to do it because again, I haven't finished it yet. The action is still incomplete. Julia has not yet baked the cake. Note that the word yet enforces that the action bake is still not finished. Julia has not yet baked the cake, therefore she still has a bake to cake. All right, let's practice. Now, what I want you to do is I want each of you to give me a positive present perfect sentence and then turn it into a negative present perfect sentence. Let's have first Marie Rose.
First, sir, Sophia has arrived. And then Sophia
Proceed.
hasn't arrived yet.
Okay, very
And
good. Let's have Amy.
My sample sentence, sir, is Russell and Layla have graduated from college, and its negative counterpart is Russell and Layla have not yet graduated from college.
Okay, good. And then last, Mark.
My sample sentence is, we have lived here since 2015. And its negative counterpart is, we haven't lived here since 2015.
Okay, very good. Do you have any questions or things to clarify?
None, sir.
no, sir.
Sir,
Okay, very good. Let's proceed. Present perfect questions. Present perfect tense can also be used in questions. It's that simple. However, present perfect questions follows a slightly different structure. In positive or affirmative sentences and in negative sentences, the structure is the noun or the pronoun, followed by the auxiliary verb and then the past participle. However, in present perfect question, the positions or the places of the noun or pronoun and the auxiliary verb are switched. Auxiliary verb followed by the noun or pronoun followed by the past participle. Example, they have spoken to Maria is a positive present perfect sentence. In present perfect question, it should be have they spoken to Maria? There's that switch in positions from they have to have they. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes,
very
sir.
good. Thank you for responding. Let's have these examples. I have here positive present perfect sentences, and I want you to turn it into a present perfect question. We have succeeded. Amy, please answer these.
I think the answer, sir, is have we succeeded?
All right, very good. The next one is Sheila has gone to the market. Let's have Maddie Rose.
Sir, I guess, has Sheila gone to the market?
All right, correct. Okay, now present perfect up to now. In this part, we're going to talk about how to use up to now in a present perfect sentence. But let's define first what up to now means. Up to now implies that an action, event, or effect in the past continues in the present. Simply, it's safe to say that up to now emphasizes or enforces that a sentence is in present perfect tense. Let's test that using these examples. They have worked here since 2017 up to now. All right, hold on a second. All right, let's have Mark. Is this in
Yes,
present
sir.
perfect? Is this a present perfect sentence?
Yes, sir.
All right. Among the five conditions that we talked about earlier, what is the condition for this first sentence?
I think it's passed through, sir.
All right, correct. Is it a positive, negative, or a question?
It's a positive sentence, sir.
Okay, so now how did the adverb up to now enforce the sentence? Or how did the phrase up to now affect the sentence?
Uh, the adverb up to now emphasizes that the pronoun, they are still working on that place since they started in 2017.
Okay, very good. Uh, okay, for number two, let's have Mary Rose. Up to now, the police haven't found any clues regarding the murder case. Is this a present perfect sentence?
Yes, sir.
Okay, among the five uses, what is this? Or among the five conditions, what is this?
I guess it's in past unfinished, sir.
Okay, very good. Is it positive, negative, or a question?
A negative sentence po.
Okay, correct. Now, how did the adverb up to now affect the sentence?
Up to now emphasizes that the police weren't able to find any clues since they began their search.
All right, for the last question, let's have Aimee. Up to now, I haven't eaten pickles. Is this a sentence in present perfect tense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, among the five conditions, what does this use?
It's in the past repetitive, sir.
All right, correct. Is it a positive, a negative, or a question?
It's a negative sentence, sir.
Okay, correct. And how did the adverb up to now affect the sentence?
Up to now emphasizes that the pronoun I have not tasted pickles yet.
Okay, correct. Do you have questions so far or clarifications?
None, sir.
None po, sir.
All right. Now let's have a recap of everything we just talked about. It's like a repolishing or a refinement. Let's have Mark. Let's have Mark.
Hello po, sir.
Hi. Okay, Mark, what is the difference between simple past tense and present perfect tense?
Sir, although both tenses involves the past, the effect of the simple past remains in the past, while the effects or the results in the present perfect carries on in the present.
Okay, correct. Excellent. Let's have now Marie Rose. Please give at least three of the five conditions we I'm sorry, please give at least three of the five conditions that we discussed.
Um, Sir, the first is pass through.
Okay.
Present perfect tense can be used to refer to an action or event that happened in the past. That remains true even in the present. The second is past finish. Uh, in past finish, present perfect tense can be used to refer to an action or even the we accomplish in the past and has some effect in the present. And the third is the past unfinished. In past unfinished, present perfect tense can also be used to refer to an action or event that started in the past and is still going on in the present.
Okay, excellent job, Mary Rose. Now, for the remaining two, let's have Aimee.
Sir, the fourth is recent past result. Present perfect is not just used to refer to actions or events that happened long ago, but also to actions that happened just recently. And the last is past repetitive. Present perfect tense can be used to refer to an action or event that keep happening over the years up to the present.
Okay, very good. Aimee, let's have you answer this question as well. I want you to explain the structures of the positive present perfect, the negative present perfect, and present perfect questions.
Sir, the structure of the positive present perfect is the noun or pronoun plus auxiliary verb plus the past participle, while the structure of the negative present perfect is noun or pronoun plus negative auxiliary verb plus past participle. And the last
Okay.
is the structure of present perfect question is the auxiliary verb plus noun or pronoun plus the past participle.
Okay, very good. How about Mark? Can you please help us remember how to use for and since in present perfect sentences?
Uh, For is used with a period of time, for example, for 3 months. And since is used with a point in time, for example, since July.
All right, well said. Now, for the last question, let's have Mary Rose. Mary Rose, how do we use up to now in present perfect sentences?
Sir, we use up to now to emphasize that an action, event, or effect in the past is still active in the present. For example po, up to now, I haven't finished my assignments. It implies that I started my assignment sometime in the past and that I'm still working on it the present.
All right, correct. So, well done, everybody. Do you have any more questions? If you have things to clarify, please feel free to raise them.
None, sir. Everything is
No
clear po.
question, sir.
Okay. If you fully understand our lessons for today, then oh, I forgot to move the slides. But if you don't have any more questions, let's call it a day. That would be all. Thank you guys and goodbye.
Thank you,
Goodbye,
sir.
sir. Thank you
Thank you
po.
po,
Thank
sir.
you. Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Take care.